All right, this is a video I've been wanting to make. This is a concept that I have been through a few times, but I don't think I could say like I've mastered this idea. So this is more of a concept video, but we hear this like idea in like the spiritual growth community about like leveling up. But like how does this realm level you up? And how do you like level yourself up? And like how do you know if you're like in the spot of you are being leveled up? And the way I've experienced it from a growth person, raising my frequency, and let's talk about raising your frequency real quick. It's not like your frequency becomes like you raise up like this. It's actually that you like your frequency is like expands because you can still deal with you still have like the ability to be in the low vibration or the high vibration, but you just have the ability to be more of an expanded vibration. Like that's what like raising your frequency is. I think some people just think like, oh, now you're up here. Like, well, you're not gonna be up here. Like it's just you expand. Um, but yeah, how do you know when you're in these spots? Well, first off, I think you as a person, maybe you can get pulled through growth. Maybe that can happen, but I feel like there has to be like a claim or like a want to for you to go on like a journey. And then once you go on that journey, that's when, synchronicities start happening where, you start seeing like the same thing over and over again. And you start to like notice these patterns that are continually popping up in your life, and as you start to see those, now you start getting like challenged. For me in my life, like I write pretty like deep intellectual poetry dissertations on growth and like how to find your soulmate, twin flame, how to uh, grow as a person in certain areas, how to master forgiveness, how to master love, how to remove any dark energy. Like these, that's pretty much like what I write about. And when I'm writing these like super deep pieces, like I start to get challenged by the realm to be able to even write them. Like, okay, you want to learn about this? Like, if I make a decoration out there, I'm gonna, start learning how to master forgiveness. Then situations come into my life that give me the opportunity to start mastering forgiveness. You know, and maybe you want to like, start to learn about how to like, master your domain where you just have positive only around you. Well, you may come across some negative situations where you have the opportunity to put some, ideas that you have to the test. And I think I've never heard anyone else talk about this, but that is my thing I've noticed throughout my life, especially once again when I'm writing. I feel like after I finish a piece, I feel like I've almost like really I like master that part to be able to write the song and play the song. Because I've gone through weirdly like some small tests via like the realm and creation, and that have challenged my soul and myself on being able to handle the more or the grander frequency. And I feel like you could do this your whole life, and then you can just build, and build to a point where you're an extremely balanced person. I'm gonna keep talking, but I think this is kind of changing topics here, but I think as you do that, I think more and more doors open to the point where, okay, first off, you just start when you try to figure out your own individuality, and then you start to get like comfortable within your body, right? That's usually like the first thing people do. Okay, and then you start to really start exploring like the idea that life is more than just a human being, like, out of evolution. You start to kind of explore, well, maybe I am like my posters up here, like, a soul being, a past life, something in that vein. All right, and then you start to really understand like energy, and you start to kind of feel light and feel darkness. And then you start to explore through that a little bit. And that exploration kind of builds you into like a balanced person. And once you're a balanced person, then, I think new doors will open up in terms of maybe higher purposes of life, and just maybe it's simple enough as the ability to enjoy, but for some people it's like the ability to like channel and do some spiritual things that are pretty next level. So I know that was like a rant on a rant, but yeah, I just wanted to pretty much say in this video that the the leveling up in this life is amazing, but it is also very challenging, and I think that's why a lot of people don't do it. I think that's why you meet most people in your life and they're pretty much the same person. They're a lot of, player, whatever the video game thing is, like PCA or like whatever the player, like, random video game guy that's just in the video game. That's where like some people are just like walking robots, and I think you see that a lot because to grow in this life requires you to tackle the mountain. And the mountain climb looks difficult, but it's way more enjoyable to go through a little mountain climb than it is to sit at home and be boring. To just sit on your ass and not challenge yourself and not grow. Because if you grow, then your frequency expands, and then the more power and more enjoyment you can have on earth. And when I talk about like power, I'm not talking like your ability to like change the world. I'm talking about your ability to connect with the world. The ability just to sit in a chair in a coffee shop and enjoy sitting in the chair in a coffee shop more than you ever have in your life. The ability to connect with people and talk to people and have more interesting conversations and feel, more alive when talking to people and embracing that moment more than you have in the past. Like, that's what I'm talking about. All right, please like, subscribe, check out the links below. I got some like self-forgiveness seminar coming up. I sell the merchandise if you want to support me. This is my Beers by the Ivy. I run a sports podcast called Beers by the Ivy, but then I got my Joey Scott media posters, motivation that I bring up in about every video. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Please like, subscribe. We'll keep it going.